I don't want to see that. Well, guess what, Sugar Plum? That's mandatory viewing, whether you want to watch it or not. But I don't want to see it, or think about it, or do it. But menopause doesn't care what you want or don't want. It's just a natural body process. It's gonna happen to all of us. I don't want it. It's not a bad thing. You can't just shut your ears and la 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 and avoid it. But if you educate yourself and shift your mindset and ask for some help, it can be an upgrade. Nope, tough tits, girl. See, 2024 is going to be the year of menopause. And right now you are in your menopause winter. You're out in the cold, you don't have any information about your body or your options. You're just shivering in dread, expecting the worst, but not really knowing what to expect. And then something like this will probably happen.
You ask your doctor, I think maybe I'm going through perimenopause, I don't know.
And then patients say, well, can I get a test? Can we check? No, there's no test for it. Only 20% of physicians are actually trained in menopause. It's an elective in medical school. There's a lot of statistics that show only 30% of women have reported that their physician is knowledgeable in menopause. 73% of women don't know where to go. That's a very high number when you're talking about like 41 million women aged 40 to 59. So that's the problem, is like a lot of patients, they're going to their doctor. And what I would recommend, me personally, if you are starting to become symptomatic and you're curious and wondering and you're getting up to those ages, ask them, how do you treat menopause? Do you have any training in like hormone balancing? Are you NAM certified? What are you doing right now for your treatment? What's your approach? Do you refer out? Do you recommend I see an endocrinologist? You should also ask them what their beliefs are in like the gut microbiome being tied into hormone levels, and what their beliefs are in micronutrient levels being tied into the gut microbiome. And do they prescribe bioidenticals? Do they do a combination therapy? And they don't do that. And they're just like, this is what you go through. You have to go through it. You have to get through it, or just give you, maybe a hormone and don't test you. I'm not saying to not see that doctor, but I'm suggesting see what other options are out there for you.
So yeah, think of that as like the inciting incident in your menopause journey, because you will be mad at being told that your only option is to just sit with it, just tough it out. So you'll start to do some research. And as winter turns to spring, you'll have an awakening of sorts. A spring awakening, an experimental phase where you're gonna try some stuff. A fun and games montage, if you will. You're gonna eat some new foods, visit some farmers markets, maybe take some naps, and you like and subscribe to this channel.
And this is when it's an opportunity to be a little bit more in tune with your body. Figure out what kind of exercise and food feels good for your body and helps you feel most nourished and most energized, and get outside. Whether it's hiking helps you feel better, whether it's sleeping 9 hours versus 7 hours makes you feel better, whether it's taking a nap in the middle of the day. And these little like lifestyle changes also help with symptom management. Feeling more hydrated, drinking more green tea, taking the magnesium supplements before bed or throughout the day, getting an IV hydration drip. I think it's good to approach this journey, this transition of your life as like seasonal, because it's beyond just taking, your supplements and your bioidenticals and things like that. It's also your environmental and how your epigenetics works and what you're surrounding yourself with too. And that's a big part of us. We're not just so like pushing you to take pills and creams, but we're also want you to change your lifestyle as well, because that affects your whole body and your stress and your cortisol and insulin and things like that. It's not just prescriptions and RX, but see what's around you and be resourceful.
And once you start listening to your body and learning more about menopause, it'll be summer before you know it. And with summer comes the heat, obviously, but you'll be prepared. You'll know what you need and what to expect from menopause. But do you win? Are you prepared enough to take control over your body?
We're going into hot girl summer.
I think the way you approach
Hot woman summer? Hot woman summer.
I think you need to really get yourself like figured out like what your plan is in the spring. No one wants to be traveling on vacation or on the beach and having a hot flash. And menopause isn't like seasonal, but there's a way to approach things differently.
Yeah. Investing in some pajamas that are cooling, like a nice like bamboo.
Yeah.
Pajamas or bedding, all those kind of things that are like make you more comfortable as you sleep. Investing in like a linen wardrobe, I think is always a good idea in the summer.
Really good idea. I think also there's some cooling bracelets. Some of them predict when your hot flash is coming on.
Like I love a good gadget. I love a good gadget. I mean, because like let's face it, just like a church fan isn't always like it's not always that effective. A hot flash it's not just like, oh, you're suddenly like you walked into like a hot kitchen of a restaurant or something. It's not like that. It is like it's a heat generated from within.
It's a furnace.
And applying topical cooling can be beneficial, of course. We're not saying don't do that, but it's not really addressing the root cause of the hot flash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. It is not. I mean, ultimately, these are all just Band-Aids to like get through it. But the only thing that's going to address the hot flash is like bioidenticals, supplements, nutraceuticals, or testing to like figure out where your levels are. That is ultimately the only way that you're going to be like have really true symptom management. Everything else is just Band-Aids. And there's a lot of stuff out there. And not to say the Band-Aids don't like work, but they're just temporary.
There will be times when you maybe don't have that part of the puzzle figured out. And you need the Band-Aids because you haven't found the right combination of nutraceuticals and supplements and
the right doctor
and all of those other things. Yeah, or the right doctor. You're still, you're still with your GP who's like, they're hot flashes. You just have to deal with them.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is we have women that come to us every day. Like, I've been taking this progesterone, blah, 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 and I still feel terrible and I'm not sleeping. And that's why you need all these Band-Aids, because these women think like, oh, this is just, I'm still supposed to feel this way even though I'm on, hormones, and you're not. You're just not on your personalized dose because you don't know what your optimal levels are.
You are the hero of this story, goddammit. And because you won, you get to relax, but just for a second. You can put on a comfy sweater, but don't get too comfortable because things are about to get spicy.
I think there are opportunities to do some things that are anti-inflammatory with like spices, because I always think of like autumn, like
turmeric
spice. Yeah, I love turmeric. I love like a turmeric latte.
Yes, it's amazing. And it's actually really good to put like on your eggs in the morning.
You can make an egg like scramble with tofu, and then you put turmeric in it to make it like egg colored.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It can also be very delicious. Yeah, no, it's actually really good. And then you can just like season it nicely, and you don't even know that you're not eating eggs. You put some like vegetables along with it.
I think you should get more in tune with the spices. Like cinnamon is like an amazing spice.
It's a spicy autumn. I think you can also reflect back on the year as you wrap up your fall and you transition into the next winter, shifting your mindset into embracing menopause instead of rejecting it or trying to run away from it or being afraid of it or thinking of it as a negative thing.
Yeah, your mindset is a really big part of how you're going to manage your health and your longevity, because if you have an open mindset, you're going to take initiative and take control of your health and be that CEO of your health, your matriarch of your body. And menopause is it's a reset, right? It's an upgrade to a whole new chapter in your life. It's a new start. And what I mean by that is that it is a new start to redefine how you want to live your life more fulfilling, whether it's being able to sleep better, be able to have your cognitive ability strengthened over time, and how you feel about yourself too. I think as as a woman, as you get older, you're even more comfortable in like your sexualities, your wants and your needs and your desires. And you're okay with that. It's not that, you feel embarrassed by it or ashamed. And that is like confidence. Like I'm confident and I don't want to accept that I don't have a libido anymore. Like I actually like a lot of sex, and that is okay. And that's accepting. And that's a part of an upgrade and a reset and being like a woman comfortable in your own self.
Won this time, but menopause is always just around the corner, ready to change up your hormone levels or introduce a new symptom. Managing your menopause, thriving during menopause, it's not a one-size-fits-all or one-time deal. But you're not alone on your menopause journey. You're in really good company. You don't have to keep it to yourself because there are other women who have been where you are now and are where you are right now.
Menopause gives women the ability to be vulnerable because it allows you to be okay that you are not perfect and weird shit happens to your body. That sometimes you might grow a weird chin hair or your vagina is dry, but you don't have to live like that. You just fix it, but it's okay because every woman feels that way. And she's just not going to talk about it. But if you are vulnerable to that woman and your friend, I'm not saying go up to any woman on the street, but your friends, they will own you, and it's a different type of sisterhood. And it's a different mindset of like living with and loving yourself to love other people too.
Our bodies are so weird. They're just like consistently weird through our whole lives. They're just weird. But as women, we have this like shared experience of weirdness, of like, weird hairs popping up. I know, I've always had like just little hairs on my chinny chin. And I mentioned it to a man once, how I just had like little hairs and, you just tweeze them. It's fine. And he was like, that's weird. You better get that checked out. You could say that to another woman and they wouldn't be like, that's weird. Get that checked out. They'd be like, I like to pluck mine in the car because the light's so much better there.
We all have these weird nuances. And we're finally, I think you have to embrace being at the stage where like your best friend and your sister, the woman that you don't even know sitting next to you at the grocery store is having it too. And that is a huge connection to have that we should all be really grateful for.
I think also that when you're talking about these like weird, funny things, it also establishes that vulnerability for you to ask for help and to ask other women's experience when you think something is actually wrong, and to get help for any potential problems earlier instead of just like letting them fester of like, well, I don't know, it's probably normal, it's probably nothing, and it's probably fine, and I won't say anything, and I shouldn't say anything, until it's too late. So yeah, the vulnerability cuts both ways. It's like a way to bond, but it's also a way to care for yourself and a way to care for others.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you want to watch that movie now? Okay.
Menopause is such a universal experience, and it does touch on so many facets of women's health and women's well-being. You get older and you like turn invisible, and your worth decreases, and all of those kind of things. Like menopause is one of those things that ties into it, that like when you aren't able to have a baby, then like what are you even? What's your value? But obviously there's so much value beyond you as a vessel for human life. Having kids, there's still so much. It doesn't. There's still so much value beyond that.
Like a lot of women feel that their kids define who they are and their self-worth. I think they get very lost in their menopause years. It's like a weird time because your kids are out of your nest and they're not married yet and they don't have kids yet. So you don't have grandkids. So like, what is your self-worth? And you're going through this entire change of your body. And it's this whole cycle.
And your life at the same time. And it's just such a mind fuck. Like
you're like closer to retirement than closer to this, like the young part of your life. But yet there's not really anything new, but your body changing and you're seeing it as like going downhill.
Yeah.
So,
but you're not. I love that you say upgrade. I love that.
upgrade.
Catch my full conversation with Michele on the podcast. You can get new episodes delivered straight to your inbox when you sign up for my Substack newsletter. We will be announcing a new collaboration soon between myself and Femgevity, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. All I can tell you for now is that it's another great way to learn about menopause. We'll see you next time.